It's the 23rd of May and this is your Solana Daily Debrief. So firstly, just having a quick look at the actual prices. Things are going up in general, in my opinion. We can see Solana's down a little bit from like 180 down to 173. I'm not worried, not financial advice, but just not worried. And Ethereum's still doing nicely and Bitcoin's still around 70K. Now the biggest news today is that FIT21 has passed with strong support in the House. And this relates to the US basically improving crypto regulations and just onboarding more companies into the crypto scene in the US. Because the US is basically the biggest economy in the world. However, when it comes to crypto, they are the most kind of silly. They just squash it. They just push it down and it makes it very hard to work out what you can and cannot do. So big congrats on that first step. And in the end, there were 71 Dems voting yes, which Brian Armstrong, one of the GOATs, says is a total victory. Now, what is this crypto FIT21 bill? So TLDR, it puts the CFTC, and the CFTC is a Commodity Futures Trading Commission, as a leading regulator of digital assets and the overseer of the non-security spot markets instead of the SEC. So the SEC and Gary Gensler and that kind of team, they seem to just want to squash everything that's new and just keep the legacy markets alive. That's my observation. Now next, as far as I'm aware, it gets passed in the House and then it goes to the Senate. So it's like a two-stage process. Now onto some Memecoin news. So Curb thinks the total Memecoin market cap is going to reach $250 billion. We can already see that Doge, Sheep, Pepe, Whiff, Flocky, also Bonk are doing really, really well. And this is really interesting, but on CNBC, they say Sol is the next ETF, which is something that Joe McCann says is likely. I don't necessarily think it's likely, not at least this cycle, but who knows, maybe it is the case. Now the most important news, of course, is voting is live, and voting with your Jup is probably the smartest thing you can do outside of just staking Solana in terms of, in my opinion, a low risk, easy reward, grows the ecosystem kind of play. If you want a little bit of information, you can go and tune into this. Otherwise, the vote link is here, and voting is very easy. So we'll just quickly guide you through it. So you come here to this vote link. This is just in governance. You've gone and staked your Jup. If you haven't, you can just go and stake how much Jup you've got. Scroll on down. You can see this is just a tutorial wallet. I have gone and voted with these ones, and now it's time to vote with this one. It's very, very clear how much time you've got remaining. Time of recording this video, 2 days, 5 hours. And then you work out who you're going to go for. You can click View Discussion, and this will take you to this page, and you've got all the information. My suggestion, at the very least, is actually just to watch the short form AMA for each project. This is on the Jup ecosystem channel, and the editing was done by my team. They're very concise. Cash asks all the exact questions that need to be asked, as you can see. So if you're time poor, at the very least, watch these. There's one for each project. Then in order to actually vote, in case this is your first time, you just basically select one. To keep it very fair, I'm not going to tell you who I'm actually going to vote for, but for this tutorial account, we're just going to go and we're going to vote for number 1, between number 1 and number 3. So it'll be exchange art, we'll vote, and then there's a transaction fee, of course, confirm, and we need to make sure that this goes through. And when it comes to active staking rewards, you will get the same amount of rewards regardless. Doesn't matter if you vote for exchange art and if they lose, or Divybet and they lose, or just deBridge and they lose. It doesn't matter. The only thing that will change is if the actual project decides to reward the people that actually go and vote for them. And in previous rounds, you could see who was being voted for. There'd be like a bar graph kind of here showing how many votes had gone to each project. That's no longer here, it's blind, and blind is a better system. And then if we go back to governance, we will see down here, if we give it a refresh, it will say voted. So it's voted and it's active. And if you want to, you can also go and change your vote like this. We won't do it, but you can change your vote if you want. Now, quick blurb, and of course, links are below. So Jup.eco, today's the day. Here's some information regarding all of the different tokenomics between exchange art, Divybet, and deBridge. If you want to deep dive into Divybet's tokenomics, they've put this out very recently. And as far as I'm aware, they're the only candidate that's actually going to airdrop more tokens to the people that vote if they win. So we are airdropping everyone who votes an allocation of Divy if we win. Don't forget to vote Divy. This may look nice to you, and this might be something that you're interested in. But you must keep in mind that 10 million tokens is not a lot. It is 1% of the supply. However, I don't know what their token valuation is or anything like that. And this is no criticism on Divy. I'm just saying in general, don't let these lures be something that really changes your vote. Vote for the thing that you think has the most potential. the most potential for Solana, the most potential for your portfolio, and don't just go for something that you think could reward you the most in a token value, which may not be necessarily high. Having said all that, and sorry to contradict myself, this is bribery, and bribery is part of crypto. It's used on other blockchains, and it's trying to incentivize your vote. So they're definitely welcome to do this. Now, of course, you can also go and vote for exchange art. And one bit of advice that I'm going to give to any projects that watch my channel is make sure that you've got like a reason on why to vote and you pin it, not just vote for us. Your reason on your Twitter should be, you should vote for us, here's a TLDR why. deBridge has something a little bit like this. However, it's not very detailed and someone has to click off, which is fine. They could also put that video embedded in, but they've got a better job, but still, make it very clear, why should you vote for us? Yesterday, the Jup Planetary Call number 14 went live. Over 32,000 people watched this on Twitter. So this did very, very well. You can watch on YouTube if you want, or you can watch it here. Now onto some UpRock news. So if you like to make videos, these videos can be in any language, in your native language. If these are selected, you're going to get 100 UPT each. I don't know how much 100 UPT will be worth, of course. However, this is really cool because normally when a content creator has to make something, it has to be in English because that's what most of the crypto world kind of speak. However, this is really trying to be a global movement. It is a global movement, and so this can be in your native language. I was the host of the third UpRock call yesterday, which was really cool. And it says UpRock stream number 1 due to a mistake with my team. Apologies. It was UpRock stream number 3, and number 4 will be next week. The team talked about plenty of things and went over tokenomics, and we'll clip that video and then we'll put it on UpRock's channel, and then we'll go over that at a closer date. There were some really, really cool things discussed about Meteora and the sniper bot. I'll talk about that probably in a dedicated video, but Meteora, it's going to be the biggest DeFi dApp on Solana. It definitely will be, so keep that in mind. Also, congrats to UpRock. They announced a $4 million fundraising round with Borderless Cap. And in terms of people watching this, 45,000 views just on Twitter, so congrats. Now a little bit more meme coinery. Decentralized has his Memecoin portfolio in a dedicated wallet. So I have no idea if he's good at this, but what you can do, most of you should know this, is grab this and then go to step.finance. Go there and just click see your portfolio. This will open this tab here. Then paste in the address. You can paste in any address on Solana, and this is going to pull up the dashboard. Then you could just go and bookmark this if you wanted, add to a folder, as an example, DS's Memecoin Portfolio, and then you can just watch it. You can watch it if it goes up in value, if it goes down, if he adds to a position, if he starts selling something, and you can even see the transaction history here as well. So this will take a second to load, but you can work out what is he doing here. Now we've got some big news from Solflare. I think this is currently just mobile, but I imagine it may come into the extension. I'm not entirely sure, like if we jump into this extension, we can go here, we can just see the normal swap function, but basically improve token pages and limit orders. So I'm going to try this out on mobile, and I probably will swap wallets because my wife has Solflare on her phone and it's just fast. It's really, really fast. Maybe it's not as pretty as Phantom. I could definitely agree on that, but I'm not the most patient person in the world. Time is money. Time is important. So I want something that's speedy and secure. The other cool thing is you can actually see the chart. So you can see charts really easily, and then you can just put in these limit orders and they get routed via Jup. But I'll probably do a dedicated video on that if I'm going to end up actually switching wallets. Also, Bobby was at Solana Crossroads. I chatted with him. He's an absolute legend. He's the co-founder and CEO of CoinGecko. I love CoinGecko. And he's been around crypto for like over 10 years, I think. And he's very, very bullish on Solana. And there's a short little interview here, which you may want to check out. We've got some news from ETH. So Etherfuse, they do like bond-backed stablecoins on the blockchain from like real governments. So in particular, this is related to Mexico and their peso. So I wonder exactly what the narrative is here, but maybe the narrative is as simple as people in Mexico or people that, trade with Mexico, they may want to hold some of these as they have to hold them and then they have to liquidate them to US dollars or into fiat, but they manage to get a return on them at the same time. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just putting it slightly on your radar. Have you been using Moonwalk Fitness? I've mentioned it quite a few times, but I probably need to do like a tutorial. My wife is using it and I need to use it just because I'm working too much and getting maybe a little bit too chubby. This is essentially like STEPN, only you're not minting an NFT and there's no, up-down kind of risk. Basically, you jump into a game. Sometimes they're free games, sometimes they're not free games, sometimes they're sponsored. Maybe you can get some free Bonk. You put up some collateral, you have to make sure you do all those steps for the number of days. As an example, 1 sol, and you have to do 10,000 steps for 7 days. And then at the end, you get your 1 sol back. And if people didn't carry through with what they said they would, then they would lose their sol and you'd get a little bit of it. But the real alpha here, I hear there's XP coming. So a dApp like this, it's very easy, has product market fit, and I think it could do really well. But I'll probably make a dedicated video and talk about it more. In the meantime, get using it. There's no referral link or anything like that. Just get used. Also on the subject of Bonk, June 30th is the Paris Musketeers Bonk takeover game. So this is in partnership with a whole lot of teams, and Bonk is ready to onboard 20,000 sports fans to Solana. So this is amazing. This is why I'm bullish on Bonk, because although there's WIF and there's other tokens that may do well in the short term, no one is actually out there that's building a community and bringing on the masses like Bonk is. How exactly that will equate to number go up for Bonk is pretty obvious to me, but it's not financial advice, and I guess you need to see it play out first. If you're bullish on Wormhole, you can go and become a delegate in the Wormhole DAO, and people can delegate their W tokens to you, and then you vote on their behalf. Just a quick update with Blessed Burgers. 100 burgers were eliminated after game 8. So I don't know how many are left now, but won't be very many. I think it's 152 here. And anything that's now on Tensor, they are deemed safe. So you can go and buy one of these. They are pretty expensive now, of course, because they're getting towards the final stage when there's like $200,000 worth of sol up for grabs or more. It's 1,205 sol. So that amount of sol right now is $210,000. I wouldn't suggest buying one of these unless you've got plenty of money, you know how to play the game, and of course there's luck and also gamification. A couple of days ago, I mentioned Love Monster and their Love TG Countdown. I have no idea about this token. I have no idea about the actual app, but basically they'd partner with Bonk in such a way that I covered on Monday, I think. But claims and trading has now gone live, and you can trade it on these centralized exchanges, but I also imagine you could probably trade it on chain. This is a contract address. The airdrop campaigns, they ended May 21st. So if we grab this, if we quickly navigate to Bird Eye, I don't have any tokens, but I will be able to claim a small amount from doing what I did. Love, doesn't look like there's any volume yet. So I guess trading hasn't gone live as of yet, not on the blockchain. And finally, if you're looking for a new wallet, this may be the wallet for you. I haven't used it yet. I'll check it out. As I mentioned before, I'm probably going to use Solflare, but Fuse Wallet is from the team at Squads. Squads is the best multi-sig wallet on Solana, and they've built Fuse Wallet. I have no details, but you have to go and pre-register to give it a go. From my experience with wallets, which is pretty decent, going through this pre-registration phase could mean it would still take like 3 to 4 months to actually iron out most of the beta bugs. So let's dive into the actionables. Jup LFG 3 vote is live. Go vote. It's very important that you vote. You need to get your active staking rewards. I do believe they're going to be pretty decent. UpRock token generation event, by the way, is May 30. We'll cover this closer to the time, of course. Use UpRock and Grass. You may as well. You'll get rewards, and it's just going to use extra bandwidth. Use deBridge Finance. Bridge back and forth, back and forth. I think this is going to do really well. Learn to use Meteora's DLMM. I keep on mentioning this because you're early. We're actually early. I don't know what the TVL is over there. Maybe it's like 300 million, but it will grow. It will be over $2, $3, $4 billion. So you may as well get those MET points right now. And remember, I've got a video on it. Just go search for Meteor. And as always, DCA Sol on Jup and stake with validator.com. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.